Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. I am so excited. I haven't done a video in like nearly a year. We are back, and you know what's also back? Sydney. Sydney is out of lockdown. We can go out to the pub, we can go out for food, we can go and do all these things that we haven't been able to do for months and months and months. So I figured now is the perfect time to sort of revamp the first ever video that I did for this channel, and my most successful video, I'm pretty sure, which is 50 things to do in Sydney, but this is the updated post-lockdown, post-COVID 2021 version. For that first video, I did actually go to every single place on my list, but for this one, I'm just gonna list them all out, share some of my photos and videos. Let's start with food, because honestly, food is the best. I love food. Number one on my list is South Dowling sandwiches. If you've seen the video that I did about the best sandwiches in Sydney, this is still probably one of the best I've ever had. In fact, it is the best I've ever had. The one with chicken and caramelized carrots, oh, plus they do excellent salads. Also, the sandwiches are huge, like fully bigger than your head. You could definitely share one between two people, but also don't do that because they're delicious. You will not want to share. Another sandwich place that I really recommend is Sandwichi, which is on Crown Street, and it's kind of like a Japanese inspired sandwich place. Well, no, it's not Japanese inspired, it's Japanese, and you can get really good chicken katsu and really good egg sandwiches, and the bread is so soft. It's just so good. Just go and try it for yourself. Okay, if you love pasta, you have to go to Mark and Vinny's, which is in Surrey Hills. Mark and Vinny's opened a couple of years ago. I've been there a bunch of times, and you know why? They do incredible vegan pasta, but also really good non-vegan pasta. So it's a really good place to go with people who have all different dietary requirements. Every single thing on the menu is delicious, and their vegan carbonara is truly to die for. You have to go. I do want to say that I know that this list is very city centric. It's very much like Sydney and the surrounding suburbs, but that's just because that's where I grew up, that's where I live, that's where I spent my whole life, that's where I've been to most places. I know that there are some amazing, epic, awesome places out in the west, the south, the north, etc., etc. I just haven't personally spent that much time out there, so I can't really vouch for anything. However, I'd love to hear some recommendations because I would love to go and explore more of those suburbs. Okay, if you love Thai food, obviously you're going to want to go to Thai Town, which is near Chinatown. But I will say that some of the best Thai food I've ever had in Sydney is from Tom Yum Tom Gang in Glebe. Yes, it is maybe 50 meters from my house, so maybe that's why I like it so much, because I'm a fan of convenience, but I promise you it's really, really delicious. And if you go at lunchtime, you can get $9 pad Thai. I want some of that right now. Number 5, if you're a fan of a bottomless brunch, or even just a really nice bougie brunch that you can take photos of and it will look really good on Instagram, don't go to Grounds of Alexandria. That's where everyone goes. Instead, go to a place called Baby. Sorry if you can hear my washing machine. It's in Waterloo. It has delicious food. The coffee's pretty good. I think it was like a 2-hour bottomless brunch for $50. It was so good. And the food's really delicious. They do burgers, they do fries, they do your standard like eggs on toast. They do real bougie looking stuff. I highly recommend it. Speaking of brunch, also, my favorite place for bottomless brunch is called Quick Brown Fox. The food is delicious. It's probably not as like aesthetic as Baby, but it's in Piedmont. It does really good drink packages. You can get cocktails. You can sit out on the pavement in the sun. It's like the perfect place for a nice summer bottomless brunch. Okay, obviously you've probably already heard about Bourke Street Bakery, but it does need a mention on this list because I don't think I mentioned it in my last video. This is the best place to get sausage rolls and meat pies. Maybe that's a huge call, but their sausage rolls are excellent. They do a good vegetarian one as well. The coffee's good, the bread's good. You know what's good for? Picnics. If you're going on a picnic like near Surrey Hills, Balmain, Barangaroo, wherever else their bakeries are, that's the best place to get picnic food. Ooh, so good. Okay, speaking of bakeries, you gotta go to Bennett Street Dairy in Bondi. They have these cookies that are just fat and warm and like chocolate chip, and I think they do white chocolate as well. And you get the cookie and there's all those videos of people like cracking it like that, and it's like fat and moist. It's so good. You definitely got to go there. All right, another excellent breakfast / lunch place is Lillipad in Glebe. It has probably one of the best menus for brunch in the inner west, I believe. It's really varied. There's so many vegan and vegetarian options. They use a lot of native ingredients in the dishes like finger lime and bush tomato. I don't know what a bush tomato is, but They have that written on the website. Oh, what was that thing? It was like a wattle seed. I had this kangaroo burger with wattle seed and finger lime mayo or something. Oh, it was so good. This is the place where if someone says, oh, let's go out for breakfast, I don't know where to go, lillipad. I love it. And it's got a really cool vibe in there. It's really welcoming, really friendly, really inclusive. All of the furniture was made from recycled materials. It's a good place to be. This is kind of a given, but you got to go to Messina and have an ice cream. Yes, there's probably better ice cream places, but Messina's flavors and their specials are so good, and they're everywhere and they're easy. And honestly, just going to Messina after going out for dinner is something that I really miss doing. Spice Alley at Central Park is awesome. It's basically just an outdoor food court kind of thing, and every option is a different Asian cuisine. So you've got Japanese, you've got Chinese, you've got Malaysian, you've got Thai, all these different cuisines, and then this really cute outdoor area where you can sit, and there's like lanterns, and it's just really fun, good outdoor vibes, especially when you go with a bunch of people and it's like, oh, I want this, oh, I want that. Okay, cool. We all split up, we get our food, and then we come back to the table, and it's BYO. Al Jana is obviously a Sydney institution. There's a bunch of them around in all different parts of the city, and it's just good. It's good shit. Even their falafels are really good. Their chips are awesome. Their chicken, just get a chicken and chips or get a chicken roll with chips. Like, yeah, it's good. It's good. Another brunch place. Can you tell that I just like pasta and brunch? Like maybe those are my two favorite foods. Is brunch even a food? Yeah, kind of. Anyway, Circa Espresso in Parramatta has a really good brunch menu, and it's very Middle Eastern inspired. It's like farm to table dining in like a chic cafe. I haven't been there in a while, but I remember it's like cool vibes, and it's Middle Eastern inspired menu, and it's delicious. And the coffee's really good. If you like Indian food and you don't eat meat, you need to go to Chatkaaz in Harris Park, and I think there's one in Bella Vista. Anyway, it's really, really good Indian food, but without any meat. It's like Indian street food kind of vibes, but it's not like the kind of place where only vegetarians go. Like you can take your friends who love meat and they'll still be like, whoa, this is really good. And last on our list of food places is Shift Eatery in Surrey Hills, which is a vegan deli, which has the best freaking sandwiches. Like obviously I love sandwiches. I've mentioned a lot of sandwiches. I have a whole video about the best sandwiches, but these sandwiches are so good if you are vegan and you miss eating like really big meaty sandwiches. They do a really good vegan Reuben. They do an awesome bagel with cream cheese and salmon. Look, cream cheese and salmon. Let's move on to the next section. The outdoors. We're moving into summer. We've been stuck inside our houses for like the better part of this year and also last year. So we need to be finding some fun activities to do outside that aren't just drinking in a beer garden, because I don't know about you, but since pubs have opened, I have really been leaning into the beer gardens. But let's think of some more wholesome outdoor activities to do. I have done videos about the best national parks and the best walks and things to do in Sydney, so I'm just gonna go over some of the best. There's a really good walk from Malabar to Maroubra. You can also do it all the way to Coogee and then back. It just goes across the headland. It's super, super beautiful. There's really nice white sandstone cliffs. It's an excellent walk. And then you end at the beach and you can go for a swim, or you can sit there and have a coffee, have an acai bowl. How good are beaches? Shark Island is this little island in the middle of the harbour. It's got excellent views of the bridge and the opera house. You can get a ferry there from Circular Quay and just take a picnic and spend the day there, have a couple drinks, go for a swim. Okay, I have two absolute favourite places to watch the sunset in Sydney. Number one is at Sydney Observatory, which is kind of like between Barangaroo and the harbour bridge, but up high. It just has really nice views. It's really chill there. It's just a really nice place to sit at the end of the day, watch the sun go down. Maybe a little picnic, maybe a cheeky glass of wine. I know I said let's do outdoor activities that aren't drinking, so maybe not a glass of wine. And also sunset at Cremorne Point is beautiful. You can get the ferry over there, and that way you can see the sun sort of set behind the harbour bridge and the opera house, so you get to see the city, whereas the observatory, you're in the city, so you just see the harbour bridge. Still beautiful, both are excellent options, just do both. Carriageworks Markets is awesome. I like going to the farmers markets on a Saturday. They also do night markets occasionally. I don't know if they have started again post-COVID, but definitely look it up because the markets are awesome and there's really good fresh produce. Okay, one of the best things to do in summer, if you love being in the water, is going snorkelling at Clovelly and Gordon's Bay. There's actually so many fish there, it's crazy. You don't even really need to snorkel, you can just go there with some goggles and go like have a little gander. I did a whole video about it actually. There's sort of this underwater trail that you can follow and just go like looking for fish and go for a swim, and it's awesome. If you are up in the Manly area, you should definitely rent a kayak and kayak from Manly to Store Beach. Store Beach is this awesome little harbour beach, but you can only get there by boat. So unless you're super rich and you have a boat, renting a kayak is probably your best option. Another really good harbour beach is Taylor's Bay. You can walk there sort of from Mossman, or you can do the long walk around from Taronga, get really beautiful views of the city, end up at Taylor's Bay, set up your towel, go for a little dip, hang out there all day. It's so beautiful, and it's actually pretty quiet compared to many other beaches. I went there on 26th of Jan, so you'd think it'd be really busy, but it wasn't at all. It was nice. If you have a whole day and you really want to like do something, go down to Cronulla. You can get the train down there and then get the ferry across to Bundeena, which is part of Royal National Park, I believe, or it's just outside the Royal National Park. From there, you can just hang out on the beach and it's really nice, or you can do walks in the national park. Then you can get to Wedding Cake Rock, Wedding Cake Rock, is that what it's called? That rock that everyone sits on and gets photos, even though you're not allowed to. Yeah, Bundeena is awesome. That's a really good day trip, and there's a good campsite there. So if you want to camp and like make it a full thing, you could drive down, park, pitch your tent, spend the day at the beach, go for a hike, camp, love it. All right, I got to start speeding through these. Auburn Botanic Gardens is a really beautiful place to spend a day or just spend a couple hours looking at all the plants. They do have really good cherry blossoms in, I think August is when it blooms. So if you can time your visit with that, perfect. But otherwise it's really nice. If you haven't had a picnic in Camperdown Park, you're probably straight. No, if you ever had a picnic in Camperdown Park, you've got to do it. It's just the best afternoon vibes. Everyone has their dogs, everyone's having picnics. It's just chill, good times. Another really good market is in Marrickville on Addison Road. I think it's called Addison Road Markets, or maybe it's just called Marrickville Markets. It's every Sunday, just really good organic groceries and fruit and veg and stuff. And just, again, nice vibes. It's Marrickville though. Marrickville has nice vibes. Another one up in Manly is the walk from Shelly Beach to Manly Beach. I think it's only 1 kilometre, but it's really nice. Like, I really do like Manly. I hate getting there, but when you're there, you're like, oh, this was worth it actually. And there's really good snorkeling at Shelly Beach as well. Finally, whale watching. I did this whale watching tour last year. I found a Groupon, so I think it was only like $50 for the whole day, and they took us out, and I kid you not, the whale breached like this close to the boat. If I wanted to, I could have reached out and touched him with my hand. It was amazing. The best time to go for whales, I think, is between July and September. I think I went at the end of September though, and still got it was so cool. It was the best time. Definitely do it, because even if you see one 50 meters away, it's still amazing. Like, whales are so cool. All right, let's quickly go through coffee. There are billions of good places in Sydney to get coffee, and I am very much not a coffee snob. I will drink anything. Sure, I might complain about it if it's bad, but just in more of a like, oh, this isn't the best, and still drink it and probably still go back there. But my favorite places are the ones that I love the vibes. So Paramount in Surrey Hills is a really cool cafe to sit in, and they have, I can't remember exactly, but I think it had like a sparkling long black, like it was sparkling, like they had soda streamed it. It was really good. Boon Cafe in the city in Thai Town has really good Thai iced coffee with caramelized milk. I love it there. Also good Thai food if you're hungry. Industry Beans in the city. I'm pretty sure it's a Melbourne cafe that just opened in Sydney. I had a meeting there once and I was like, this is a cool vibe. Like, it's a cool place to sit in the city. It's probably overpriced. Probably don't go there unless you're already in the city, but I really liked the mood in the place. I'm a sucker for like a good vibe. If you can't tell, I've called everything a good vibe. Then Matinee in Marrickville. I really like this place. I actually started going here during COVID last year because my brother lived around the corner, so I would only ever get takeaway, and I really liked it. And then recently I caught up with a friend and we went there, and I was like, oh, it's really nice just like sitting in here. Actually, we were sitting outside. She had her dog. Good for people watching. It's really big, so it's like pretty easy to get a table. Loved it. Good pastries too. And the Wedge in Glebe, which I think I included in my Glebe video, I really like the vibe of. I like just sitting there like with my computer. Like when I was working from home, I did a lot of working from the Wedge, and they have really good iced coffee and really good toasties. All right, let's move on. Things to do. I'm just gonna kind of whiz through these. Haunted sleepover at Q Station. It's haunted. It's fucking scary. I did a ghost tour there and nearly shit myself. And now you can do sleepovers there. So it's like this haunted quarantine station from the 1800s, I guess. Spooky as hell. Awesome. RYYZN in Alexandria is a gin distillery. You can go there, just have a drink. You can go there, just buy the spirits. I went and we did a gin tasting course, which was really cool. We had like a little flights of gin, did a tour of the distillery. I think you can also do gin making workshops where you sort of make your own and infuse it with your own botanicals, which is cool. That's just like a fun afternoon. Like you could do it on a date, you could do it with a friend. It's just a fun afternoon. Again, better than just sitting in the park and drinking. Kayaking in Rose Bay. I went on a whim randomly one morning, rented a little kayak at Rose Bay, went out with a friend, just like plodding along. This seal pops up this far in front of our boat, just like, hello, popping around, a little seal. Like maybe 25 meters from the shore. That was so cool. And at Rose Bay, you can rent kayaks, you can rent stand-up paddle boards. You can, if you're confident, you can sort of paddle more out into the harbor, get really good views. Wiley's baths in Coogee is just, there are so many good ocean baths in Sydney, but Wiley's is probably my favorite. Park up there with a book, a bottle of water, some grapes. That's an afternoon. And then finally, like not to be basic, but Barefoot Bowls is actually really fun. There's a really good one in, is it Coogee? Yeah, Coogee. And it looks out over the water. Okay, it is kind of basic, but it's fun. So yeah. Okay, rounding out the list, let's go through some classic Sydney bars. Alibi in Woolloomooloo is the most theatrical, over-the-top place. I can probably only afford to go for like 2 drinks, but they're just really cool cocktail creations. They've kind of leaned into like a fantasy vibe. The food has a lot of really good vegan options. Actually, I have a feeling it's all vegan. Let me just check. Oh yeah, Alibi, fully vegan. Anyway, the drinks and the cocktails are really good. It's in Woolloomooloo, like right on the water. Again, it's a vibe. Vic on the Park, which is in Marrickville, just around the corner from Matinee, which I referenced before. Like, it's just a pub, but I really like it. It's got a really nice big outdoor area. You can take your dogs. I'm pretty sure there's like a basketball court at the back. They've got live music sometimes. It's just comfortable. You know, when you go into a pub and you're like, wow, I feel like I'm just at home. I think it's really nice to just sit there on a Sunday afternoon with the rest of the inner west and just chill. It's good. The Imperial, kind of same sort of vibe. It's just really welcoming and lovely, and they've just done it up. You can't go past the Impy for just a couple of drinks on a lovely sunny afternoon. El Loco, which I always confuse with El Camino, but I prefer El Loco, which I think there's one in Surrey Hills and one in the city, sort of near Darling Harbour. They just do really good drinks, really good food, pretty good prices, fun times. East Village just opened in Darlinghurst and I have not been there yet, so maybe I shouldn't be including this. My boyfriend knows the person who opened it and he's shown me all these photos of it and it looks sick, but I haven't been to Sydney since it has opened. So I feel like I know what I'm doing next time I'm in Sydney, but it looks really cool. It's in Darlinghurst, it's rooftop, it's got a good view. Love to hear it. Another really good rooftop is Slim's, which is sort of just down from the Australian Museum in, like, is it Darlinghurst? Is it East Sydney? Is it Woolloomooloo? Is it the city? I don't know. But the rooftop is really, really nice. It's got like a, what's the word when it's like, it's got cactuses and it's like pink. It's kind of like they're trying to be like retro Arizona or something. I don't know. I like it. And finally, last on my list is Fratelli Fresh, which is not a secret. It's not some like hidden underground cool bar. I love it though. It's a chain. It's an Italian chain. They do pretty good pasta. They do really good garlic bread. But the thing I love about it is their happy hour. Every day from I think 3 till 6, they've got cheap wines, cheap cocktails, cheap spritzers. I think cheap food, like food specials. I'm concluding my list on that amazing Italian chain restaurant.
Hello, it is me from the future. You're probably wondering how and why I got to number 45 and said that was the end when this video is clearly titled 50 things. A, I can't count, and B, 2 of the places that I initially talked about when filming are actually closed forever. So I'm back with 5 more things for you. I'm just gonna run through them quickly. Number 1 is Cairo in Newtown/Enmore for the best Egyptian food I've ever had, really. I mean, I haven't had that much Egyptian food, but I'm telling you that Cairo is an awesome place to go. Next up is Rollers in Manly, which is a really cool pastry shop in sort of a back alleyway, and they just make amazing, amazing croissants and pastries. Next up, I reckon the Hermitage Foreshore Track. It has to be one of my favorite walks in Sydney. You start sort of at Rose Bay and then you walk. Oh no, I just got a result for my COVID test and I'm scared to click it. I'm not going to click it. What was I saying? Yes, Hermitage. You start at Rose Bay and you sort of walk around the harbour. It probably takes like 2 hours and then you'll end up at Watson's Bay. It's just stunning. You get stunning views of the harbour, but you also walk past some really rich people's houses, and I love looking at really nice homes. And then you end at Watson's Bay and you get to go to the boutique hotel and have a couple of beers or have lunch. The White Rabbit Gallery in Chippendale is a modern Chinese art gallery. Normally I'm not an art gallery kind of person. They make me really tired. But White Rabbit is good because it's small. It's big enough that there's a lot of really cool artwork in there, but it's all modern and it's really, really interesting. And it's got a little cafe where you can get really good tea and dumplings when you're done looking at art, which is great. Finally, there's a place in Chinatown called Happy Chef. I think there used to be one in Newtown, but now it's just in Chinatown. It's sort of like inside a shopping center food court. It's kind of hard to find, but it's worth seeking it out because the laksa is out of this world. It's absolutely amazing laksa. Like, you'll get a huge bowl. You can almost barely not finish it. You will finish it though because it's really good. Anyway, there's the extra 5 for you. Although it's not really extra 5, it's just the 5 that I forgot to film before.
If I have left out something that you think is really good, especially if it's outside of the city bubble, please, please, please leave me a comment and let me know, because I want to try as many places as I can. Yeah, this is going to be my last Sydney video for a while, so I hope you've enjoyed it. Now the borders are opening up again. I am out of here. So stay tuned. I've got some cool international content coming up. Happy exploring. Enjoy the freedom of post-lockdown. Enjoy Sydney. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.